Hello and welcome to my channel. I am going to show you how I'm going to make a ham today. This is a recipe that I've had for, gosh, at least 30 years. So it's really easy, but it seems to be a favorite of the family. So as you can see, I have a ham, and this is a 6-pound ham. I don't normally make it this big because, normally I don't. I got this one at our local grocery store, Publix, and it's boneless. And then the next ingredients you'll need, I have a box of light brown sugar, some apricot preserves. This happens to be an 18-ounce jar, which is about 510 grams if you're not in the U.S. or if you're on metric system. And then we're going to add some mustard, and this is to taste. Both the brown sugar and the mustard are to taste. The apricot preserves, we will add the entire jar. So I have set the oven for 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 204 degrees Celsius, and we'll just begin. I've already washed my hands, so I'm just going to scoop in all of the apricot preserves. And this is very, very tasty. The ham will be basted in this throughout the whole process. Okay. And then I'm going to add some mustard. Shake it up. You can use whatever mustard you want to. We happen to use just the deli mustard, regular yellow mustard. Obviously, if you used spicy mustard, this would turn out spicier. So I'm just going to pour that in to taste or to sight. I've been making it so long I don't measure, but it looks to be about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to mix this up really well. And then I'm going to add some brown sugar. I'm not going to add the entire box of brown sugar. That would be way too sweet. So I'm going to start off with perhaps a cup of brown sugar. I don't know what that equals. Well, it's 8 ounces. 8 ounces is a cup. So we'll start off with a cup of brown sugar. And see what that tastes like. And you don't have to pack it. Whoops. Well, that's part of the cup. Okay, that looks good. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to dump that in. Oopsie. It didn't set up very well. Okay, then I'm going to stir that in. This is going to make, as you can see, a really thick baste for the ham. Can you see that? Okay, good. Stir it in really well. My grandmother, when she made her ham, she always liked to put pineapple on it, and it was delicious, absolutely delicious. This recipe came from a friend from, like I said, about 30 years ago, when I was about 5. Anyway, so I'm stirring that up, and I'm going to grab a spoon. I need to taste it. That tastes about right. It's on a little bit on the bitter side, so I'm going to add a little bit more brown sugar. a big chunk. Okay. That would be like half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup. Because you want it to be more, you want to be able to taste the mustard, but you don't want it to be the outstanding ingredient in the dish. And this will brown on the ham anyway, so the sugar obviously will caramelize. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure all these chunks of sugar are broken up. Okay, I'm going to pour, let me get a baster. So we're going to take this basting brush, and I'm just going to take some of the mixture and apply it to the ham. Just paint it on, if you will. Make sure you can see that. Nope, you can't. Let me switch this around. Okay, so I'm going to baste this by applying it, painting it onto the ham. On both sides, whatever sides are exposed, whatever sides you can get to. And get into the nooks and crannies of the ham. Now, you can probably do this to chicken if you're not a ham eater. I've never done this with chicken. I've always made ham, but I've had ham, you know, I don't make ham often. I think this is the first time I've made ham in years, to be honest. But it sounded good. All right, so I'm covering the whole ham with this, and I'm going to put some in the bottom so that it seeps up into the dish. I'm just going to pour a little bit, not a lot, maybe a cup, into the dish and spread it around the bottom of the ham. Now, the remaining baste in the dish, I will periodically open the oven and baste it again. So this will all be used eventually. So I'm going to stop it here. As you can see, this is what the ham looks like. It's all glazed. I have to cover it. I'm going to put it in the oven and set the timer for 30 minutes. Okay, so the timer went off. It's been 30 minutes. You can see how the ham is starting to form the glaze, starting to make the glaze. It keeps the little bits of apricot too on the ham. So I'm just going to baste it again. Don't judge me, my stove. We had the holidays. I cleaned it before the holidays, and then turkey and green bean casserole and whatnot, what have you. So it needs to be cleaned again, but c'est la vie. So I'm just gonna baste it. This smells delicious cooking. It is so good. I hope you can see that. I hope the bowl's not in the way. This is my first video, guys, so I'm a little nervous. And I certainly hope I am not in the picture right now. Okay, I'm going to cover that again, put it in for another 30 minutes, and I'll be back to show you. Okay, it's been another 30 minutes, and I have to say, I lied to you guys. This is not a boneless ham. This has the bone in it. I dropped the temperature to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 163 degrees Celsius. So I wanted to come clean with that, and now I'm going to baste it again. So we're going to baste it using as much as we can of this. Don't be shy with it. I'm going to baste it all over again. Let it drip down the sides. This ham will have to cook for approximately 2 hours total, but okay, looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna put it back in the oven for another 30 minutes. I'm gonna cover it and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. It's been another 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and baste it one more time. It's looking really nice and juicy. Looks really tender. Make sure you get in all those crevices. I'm going to save whatever's left of this baste to pour in at the end, because when we're done, we'll pour all this juice in a dish, and people like to dip their ham in it. It's like pure heaven. All right, another half an hour. And I'll be back. Okay, so we're back, and I'm going to dump the rest of this glaze on this ham. I know you can't see the glaze going in, but there's quite a lot left. I'm going to put it back in the oven uncovered for about, I don't know, 15 minutes, just to make sure that it gets nice and cooked on the top, so that the glaze caramelizes on the top. It looks really pretty. Okay, we're going to go back in uncovered. And I'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, we're back. So I just pulled the ham out of the oven. It is done. It's nice and crisp on the edges, which is going to taste really tasty. I'm going to plate it onto a platter. And I'm using... This fork belonged to my grandmother, and I swore I was going to put it away and not use it, but it's just so handy. I'm going to need another fork. That's a heavy ham. Okay, so I'm going to plate this. And then this juice I'm going to pour into a bowl. For dipping. I need 2 gloves for this. So we'll pour this into the bowl. I already have some hot water running, or ran, so I can soak this dish. It's definitely going to need to soak when you cook something like this. Get these bits in there, it makes it really good. Okay. This can go in a dish to water. Whoops, sorry about that. All right, so the ham and the juice are ready for dinner. We will be serving this with mashed potatoes and green beans. You see that? Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yum, yum, yum. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll be back with some other activity that I do throughout the day. Enjoy.